we were going to try to do this in 2 parts, but we have to do 3 because a phone call came in. So just to continue on with the raffle. So sorry, just click the link. We're almost done. Just as to reiterate, we'll be drawing that raffle on the 18th. The benefit of the raffle is that everything over the first 10 tickets that you sell will go 100% back to the family. So for example, if you were to sell 50 tickets, the first 100 goes to the club, and then the $400 or 40 additional tickets would go back to you in either a credit or a refund. And the way it works is because it's a separate entity from Club One, you will still continue to make your payments. We keep track of it. Once the raffle is drawn, we have to pull together some paperwork. We have to file it as a non-for-profit. And then once I get the okay to distribute or credit the funds, if you have a balance due, it would be applied towards the next payment. So usually by the February 1st installment, it would be ready. So if you had a balance, it would go towards that. If you were paid in full at that point and had a difference, we would cut you a refund check. If you still owed, you could either pay it at that time or you could pay it in the March installment. But if you pay in full in the beginning, you're definitely not penalized to do that. What would happen is at the completion of everything and when I'm okay to distribute refunds, you would just receive a check from us for the $400. So there's definitely not a disadvantage to pay in full. You'll still get the same benefit as everybody else. We do realize that there are families that do not want to do raffles. You have fundraising. You have a lot of different kids. You don't want to keep asking your family and your friends, and so we do offer a $75 opt-out. And if you choose to do the opt-out, you can pay for it right at the checkout, and you can include it in a tuition check or write a separate check if you're going to pay by credit card. One thing that I do want to mention, and it is on the ticket stubs, is that because it's not Club One money and it's a separate entity, if you have anybody who writes a check when they buy the tickets, they can write a check, but it has to be made to Friends of Powerhouse, which is right on the tickets, and not Club One. But the opt-out can be written to Club One, and that's not a problem. If you have questions about that, you could always ask at the checkout as well. We will, talking about the checkout, the way the process works, just to kind of end it, is this. The girls will come in, they're going to do the tryout. At the end of the tryout, we'll be letting them know, but we're telling you now because you're watching the video that their number was posted. This really is the first step. So I'm hoping that now that you're at the end of it, that you really did watch through it. And then there's about 7 steps underneath. And the second step is just as important as this step, because the second step is emailing your commitment. And that commitment needs to be emailed to my email address by noon on Monday the 24th. And we do ask that you do that and take the time, because we base our numbers on the people that commit, and if you don't send the email, we assume that you're not accepting your position, and we will offer it to someone who is on our wait list and looking for a spot. So, if you can, even if you're choosing not to come to Club One, just sending an email and letting us know, because then we can reach out to them a little bit quicker. So after watching the video, the second step would be to definitely send that email commitment letting us know that your daughter's committing to Club One. The third step, which is just as important, is registering in Sport Engine. And that's where you're going to choose your payment plan, or if paying by check, choose that offline payment, because right away we're sending out emails, communicating with you. It might be about uniforms, it might be about registrations, and we really want to make sure that everybody's in the system. You'll then move on and you'll print out a packet of paperwork. This is liability forms, the contract. It's the Friends of Powerhouse, which is our booster form for the raffle. That's a packet of information along with the checklist. That's what will be brought in the night of the checkout. The USAV medical form is a link that needs to be printed and filled out. This is in addition to the actual registration. So you have to register for the membership, but we also need a hard copy of the medical form. We also need a JVA liability and medical form. So when you get to that step, there are 2 different links. One is for a JVA medical, one's for a JVA liability. Sometimes it's a little bit confusing because people are they think they already filled out the medical, but it's separate from the USAV medical. And then the other step would be to attend the parent meeting. And the parent meeting is going to be on Monday, October 24th, so the day after, from 5:15 to 7:15. And you will literally come into the club. You'll bring in your completed paperwork. You'll bring in checks if you're paying by check, or you will have written on your sheet the that you paid online. If you pay online in full, we do not require you to then fill out your credit card information on the checklist. But if you are paying with installments in any capacity or any form, we do ask that the credit card number be put on there until the account is paid in full. If you in the end, if it's all done, we shred everything and we don't keep anything. But sometimes people will do checks, then they want to put payments on credit cards. It's difficult with as many people as we are to track those down. So we do just ask that you provide that information, and at the end, when the account is paid in full, it would be shredded, and we don't keep any of that in our possession. So that's how the trial works. If uniform samples are available, bring your daughters in. You can get those forms. The due date on that as of right now is November 3rd. Please pay close attention to that. The store will close and you'll go in and you'll try to do it, and it will not allow you to order the uniform. So if you could please, once you get those and we get it all set, pay close attention to Nike's deadlines on the store. That would be really helpful as well, so that we're not missing out on getting somebody their uniform package. If you have everything filled out and everything ready to go, it's a very, very quick process. And of course, at that time, if you have any questions, I will be there to answer anything financial or club related.
And to just clarify on that, the 5:15 to 7:15, it's come at a time that works for you. So it's not actually a meeting per se, as we call it an open house. And you just come in, you drop, you can ask questions at that time, but you don't have to stay for the whole time, and you can come in that window that works for you.
Yes, absolutely. We are looking forward to a great season.
Yeah.
We can't believe it's time, and this is our maybe fourth, fifth video.
Yeah.
To explain it. So we look forward to a great season, and of course, if you need to reach out to either one of us, we're always available by phone or email. So thanks so much.
Welcome to the Club One family.